So I finally got the chance to see the Captain America movie, and I did enjoy it. There are actually some very interesting parts that I would like to bring up, like how Stan Lee shows up. It's a pretty good movie, actually. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm your host, Rob Rodriguez. Now, a while ago, I talked to you about what it would be like to be on a reality TV show. I mean, in all honesty, there is never a second of privacy once you sign the contract to be on a reality show. Just because the cameraman is not here, that means if you look up there, there's a camera shooting an After Dark special. Wow, I was a little ignorant back then. But I will be honest with you. At the time of filming that video, I basically described Big Brother. So you're in your living room, your bedroom, if you live in that kind of household, your kitchen, and you're watching a game show. It could be any of the many game shows that we know, like Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, even Family Feud. If you go back a couple months ago, you could tell which one is my favorite. You may know someone who watches game shows and they're like, I can do that. Yeah, keep telling yourself that. On that note, you have people who interact with the game show. I'll have to admit, when I watch Family Feud, I have the answer in my head and I keep shouting it to the screen until a player says my answer. And then, let's say the answer was wrong. I feel like I failed the player and hated the game. Jeopardy is a game that kind of always annoyed me, especially because in school we would always play alternate versions of Jeopardy to study for tests and stuff. The thing about playing Jeopardy in a classroom is I always have false hope that we're actually going to play the version that you see on TV. But, you know, teenagers, I guess they just want their MTV, you know? They watch their MTV, you know, they follow their bro code, their guy code, and their girl code. Hopefully they're not catfishing people on their computers in their spare time in the process. Well, we got a lot of show to fill, so I'm gonna need a minute. So there can be fans of the same thing, but they devote their fandom to a specific character. And that's when things get ugly. You know, every novel, every movie series has this, especially pertaining vampires and werewolves. In my head, I just picture this like in a 1950s musical scenario. Kind of like, hey, Busta, what are you doing here? This is Team Edward's turf. Not only that, but there are also fan wars and whatnot based on an actor who plays the character and whether or not the actor is played by different characters throughout its timeline. Even if the character was animated at one point, that has a fan base too. But whether you're an Andrew Garfield or a Tobey Maguire or a Tom Holland, yeah, that's right, I saw the movie, like I said earlier on the show. So, I know his name now. Please don't refer to that video I did in July 2015. We already cut to one clip earlier, so we're not going to do that again. Well, it's time for that weekly list known as the possibility list. It's kind of like when you give a ragu user a can of Prego. Alright, this week's list is titled 5 Rejected Car Names. Here we go. So, Ford has the Mustang. Everyone knows the Mustang, everyone's familiar with it. But what if they named a car after another horse and it didn't work out? At number 5, the Ford Clydesdale. Okay. Now, you know Kia. Everyone has their Kia dealer. I'm not sure if anyone else's Kia dealer is all hype and really good at promotions. But you know, we have the Kia Soul. Everyone remembers those hamsters, I hope. And what if you wanted to bring it up a notch, but you know, it never got greenlit? So at number 4, the Kia Gospel. Okay, now Toyota. A lot of their car names sound like something else, and you can easily reword it. This is a cheesy entry on the list, but I tell you that number 3 is the Toyota Crayola. Okay, you know, Chevy. Chevy named one of their cars after a great place in California for, you know, billionaires to live. Malibu. But what if they went a little more exclusive? And at number 2, you had the Chevy Beverly Hills. And number 1, 5 rejected car names. Nissan Altima is something, what could be higher than the Nissan Altima? How about the Nissan Ultimate Heavyweight Champion of the world? Okay, and that is your possibility list for you this week. Well, anyway, that is the show for you this week. You know to follow me on social media. Until next time, please enjoy the clip from the vault. I will see you next week. Let's have a great end of the month next week. Okay, see you next time. You think I'm going to probably dub in my voice later to make it look like I'm actually making Rod talk when I'm talking with water? Well, let's find out. Hey, Rod, how do you think the show is going to go? Well...